Hey, Dóri here for Gamereactor. We're taking a look at Ghost Recon Wildlands today in beautiful Paris. We already have quite a long and extensive interview with some people from the dev team on the game, so this is going to be short, sweet, and some key points that I want to hit. But we're here with the creative director. How are you today?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yes, great. First up, I want to touch upon from the beginning concept of the game. You're moving it into an open world, but you still want to keep that tactical feel in modern army combat. So how did you tackle that?
Actually, what we wanted is to give a total freedom of choice for the player. So it's not just another open world. It's really about having a systemic world which is completely emergent and in which you can express yourself, play as you are, as I usually say. It means that you can play the way you want. First, you can solve every situation the way you want. You can play stealth, you can play as a sniper, you can go all guns blazing, you can be very smart and use the combination of the different items you have in the game and different skills. And even in terms of progression, you can go deep into the progression depending on your playstyle to improve your stealth abilities, for instance. And you can be also very versatile. So it really depends on how you want to play this game.
Now, we're talking about modern technology or near future technology, right?
Actually, it happens only in Fury, so it's not high-tech. It's high-tech technology, but it's not futuristic.
Now, you touched upon the skill trees. So, do you choose a path that you want to venture down, or can you kind of spec out all of them? You know, because you're joining with friends, maybe somebody wants to be a sniper, then you want to be able to switch it up, right?
So actually, you don't have to make choices. I mean, you have to make choices just because you have things to spend to get your skills, but we don't forbid you to get a different. I mean, in the tree, you're not. It's not locked, so it's really up to you to decide how you want to customize your character. But you know, actually, when we play, we know that, especially depending on your play style, people will spend more into, I don't know, giving orders to your teammates or into sniping. So what is really fun is when you play in co-op with your friends or in public matchmaking is the combination of the different progression of the people.
Now, what's also very interesting about the game is that you have 26 bosses, you have all these areas, and it's all open from the start. You can tackle them in any order that you want, but it's all leading up to a final goal.
Yes, the final goal is to take down El Sueño, who is the boss of the bosses of the cartel. But we wanted also a non-linear structure in the game. So it was a real challenge in terms of storyline. But you know, the cartel is divided into 4 operations: smuggling, influence, security, and production of the cocaine. And since you can take down all the bosses in any order, you will ultimately destabilize the cartel, and you will find out the personal relationship that, for instance, the boss of the smuggling has with El Sueño, who is the boss. So yes, it's, you know, the cartels, it's a friend and family business, but as soon as the business doesn't work anymore, then there are no friends, no family anymore. So you will see how, because of your actions, how you impact these relationships and how the cartel begins to collapse.
So there's maybe the possibility of, instead of going just and picking them off, killing the bosses one by one, you can kind of turn them against each other.
Yes, actually, the cartel works in collision with the corrupt army of the government. And for instance, on the gameplay perspective, if you stay stealth and you kill one guy of one faction and they are facing each other, then they would think that it's the other faction, and then it allows you to trigger inter-faction fights. But nothing is scripted. I mean, sometimes just because you will be in a situation where they are facing or working together, or just because somewhere on the road there was a patrol of this faction and it's just a new opportunity for you, which was not planned at all. So it really depends on the situation and your playstyle, because if you don't want to use these interfaction opportunities, then you don't use it.
Now, one thing that I'm always interested in how to cheat the game. So is there any way to, if you sneak around good enough, can you get to El Sueño without going after all the other bosses?
So actually, as I said, there are many provinces and with different levels of difficulty. So at some point you will have to face high level of challenge to reach El Sueño, and you don't have to complete all the operations. So it's up to you to say, okay, I want to destabilize the smuggling and the productions around the influence, but not the security, for instance. That to shortcut and to have this shortcut to reach El Sueño. But you know, you will spend time also working with the rebels because you will need their support. But also, it's the time you want to invest with these guys. So nothing is that clear about the. What is the critical path, and it depends on how you want to invest to get new skills and explore the world.
Now, of course, you can play it single player with 3 AIs, which you then use a tactical wheel to kind of order about, or you can play it with 3 friends.
Yes.
But that's drop in, drop out, right?
Yes, actually it was very important for us. It's part of the core design of the game, is that you don't have 2 separate game modes. It's only one single experience, and you can play in solo, yes, with 3 teammates. You can give orders to, and at any time you can switch to the co-op mode with friends. You can make games in private or in public matchmaking, or you can even combine both. So it means that you never waste your time in terms of the story progression or your personal progression with your skills, your guns and everything. For us it was very important that one evening you want to play alone and suddenly friends of yours connect and you want to play with, and you are still following the same storyline, and so yes, you can switch and jump in and jump out.
And the list of available missions is presumably controlled by the host, right? So like if you're having a trouble with a mission, you want to invite a friend that's finished all of it already, he can come in and then the missions are available, or the other way around if you want to see like the end mission.
Yes, exactly, and you are still rewarded by helping your friends. So yes, even if you have already completed these missions, you will get the good rewards for doing it, and also good rewards with your friend because he will be happy, and then he can give you a hand also. And you have all, you know, there are so many missions in the game, more than 120 missions. So you will also find missions you haven't done already.
Now, another big character really in the game is the open world, Bolivia. What was the reasoning behind choosing that country, and what does it give to the environment?
So 2 main reasons. The first one is that we wanted to deal with such an enemy as the Mexican drug cartel, and when you are making a Tom Clancy game, it's all about what if. So our what if is what if the Mexican drug cartels, which already controlled all the drug routes to the US or to Europe, now wanted to control the productions of cocaine. But you know, there are only 3 countries in the world where coca grows, and Bolivia is part of them. And but Bolivia was a very good setting because we wanted to have in this open world good game changers, and so we needed the diversity of environment and the line of sight in a game where you can recon, where you can play stealth, or you can snipe. The line of sight is maybe the most important parameter, and in Bolivia you have so many different and diverse landscapes. So if you play in the salt deserts, which is really huge, but you know, with this white salt ground, you will be noticed very easily, and it's same thing for the enemies. But when you are in the jungle, you see the difference. You can only see 1 meter or 2 meters far away. So it completely changed the way you play, and especially in co-op. You can imagine the coordination, how you have to synchronize with your friends. But it's also the choice of the vehicles you will use, because a chopper in the middle of the desert will be noticed more easily than when you are in the jungle and the enemies don't know exactly, even if they hear the sound, they don't know where it is. So it's we needed all this type of the environment. So I said deserts, for jungle, it's the most extremes, but you have red canyons, you have swamps, you have forests, high mountains, and even the high mountains, and it's a breakthrough in the game, is that you can be at the top of the mountains and watch at 360 degrees and decide which camps or which enemy you want to attack. You can see the traffic. By night you see the traffic with the car lights. So it allows you, if you want, to set tactics, because you can see the whole world from any top of view.
But yeah, to be clear, this is a what if. This is a fantasy. Have you gotten any like backlash from Bolivians on, are you calling them a narco state or something like that?
Actually, we know we are just entertainers. So this what if is a piece of fiction. So what is for sure is that the Bolivia we are depicting through the landscapes, how the people live and the civilians. It's really immersive and authentic. But the what if is just a piece of fiction. So.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.